Time is running out for persecuted Christians and other religious minorities in Iraq and Syria who have been threatened by ISIS. I saw that firsthand earlier this year in Iraq and described my experiences today on Capitol Hill to lawmakers. They question why the State Department and USAID haven't released money earmarked to help them. Correspondent Wyatt Goolsbee was there and joins us now from Capitol Hill. Good evening, Wyatt.
Good evening, Lauren. Genocide is the word we keep hearing today to describe what's been happening to religious and ethnic minorities in Iraq and Syria. It's scary to think about how much people in that part of the world have had to endure, but today we heard from one woman who has lived it firsthand.
There are many Yazidis in captivity still. We will not stop until we reach their voice to everyone we can to help them out.
It's difficult for Shireen Ibrahim to talk about the trauma she suffered. For 8 months, ISIS held her prisoner near Sinjar in Iraq. She is a Yazidi, a Kurdish religious minority.
In Syria, I was tortured.
Now Shireen is asking U.S. lawmakers to help her people. She showed us pictures of 19 family members who are still missing. But Yazidis aren't the only ones under attack.
While status reports from the UNDP work in Nineveh purport to show real progress in the Christian majority towns, on the ground, we see little evidence of it.
Stephen Rasha with the Archdiocese of Erbil, Iraq, which is housing thousands of refugees, says they need help to keep their doors open. Despite the U.S. government declaring a genocide against Christians and Yazidis in March of last year, those groups have not received any federal aid.
This action begs the question of why the State Department, which has distributed over $220 million in humanitarian assistance in Iraq since 2014, has consistently ignored the dire needs of the persecuted minorities in Iraq.
Highlighting the destruction was our own Lauren Ashburn. She described what she saw during our team's trip to Iraq in April.
A statue of the Virgin Mary is decapitated. Other statues are smashed to bits. The face of Jesus had been ripped off from paintings. Bullet holes mark the place where a cross once hung. Every Christian symbol I could see had been defaced or obliterated. I could not hold back my tears.
And neither could Shireen. Today her emotions were raw as she made her plea to Congress. And Lauren, as you know, that moment when Shireen shed tears was emotional for everyone in the room. Even though we don't speak the same language, we all knew what she was feeling. That translator would go on to say captivity under ISIS was like hell. Lauren.
It was very, very powerful. You're right, Wyatt. Representative Chris Smith, who led the hearing and invited me to testify, put a bill forward 1 year ago, Wyatt, and it would bring direct aid to Christians and Yazidis. It has been stuck in the Senate.
Yes, that's right, Lauren. We're talking about a bill called H.R. 390, which passed the House and it got even out of a committee in the Senate. But at this point, it's been held up for a floor vote, which is the next step. So today, Representative Chris Smith called the Senate again, asking why it hasn't been brought yet to a vote. If both the Senate and the House pass this bill, the president has agreed. He says he will sign it. Lauren.
The delay really does seem inexplicable. Correspondent Wyatt Goolsbee reporting from Capitol Hill. Thank you, Wyatt.